I'm going to do a part 2 to this because I found an old diagram that I made back a few years ago with just the basic parts of where this appears. And I'll get to that after this. And again, Jeff space Benner, Jeff Benner. Search him on YouTube. I'm not going to take credit for his work, but I'm going to use it in this video because it's laid out pretty nice so that you can visually see what I'm talking about. I missed a verse, so we're going to do a part 2, which is fine. That way I can go to my little, I think I did it in Paint. But let's just read verse 30, Genesis 1 verse 30. Again, we're continuing with souls in Genesis chapter 1. I'll make this a part 2. No worries whatsoever. Genesis 1 verse 30. This is Jeff Benner, his translation. First, he's a brilliant biblical Hebrew scholar. And to all the living ones, again, that's another whole topic. Not creatures or beasts, kai or kaya here, a feminine form. And to all the living ones, God is a God of the living, not of the dead. All the living ones of the land, and to all the flyers of the skies, and to all the treaders upon the land, which is in him. That's interesting too, because there's many places in Genesis chapter 1 where that appears also, and it's not translated. Back in the verses where God creates the trees, and it said it was translated in itself. The word is vo in the Hebrew. It should be in him, which is in him a living soul. There's the topic. In verse 30, all the green herbs for food, and he existed so. We see here again, the King James didn't translate this as soul or souls in the plural when it should have. Now let's go to my little diagram here, and I'll break it down just the phrases where this appeared. I don't remember if No, I didn't go to the living part, although there is a few kayas there, hakaya. Genesis 1:20, the King James says it's a moving creature that hath life. The Hebrew is sheretz nephesh kaya, which should read swarmers of living souls. In Genesis 1:21, the King James has it every living creature. In the Hebrew is kol nephesh hakaya, all the living souls, or all of the living souls. You have the Strong's numbers here too, so you can check these out. If you don't know Hebrew, you have your Strong's Concordance. There's Strong's Concordance online. Genesis 1:24 was translated living creature. The phrase in the Hebrew is nephesh kaya, living souls. And in Genesis 1:30, beast equals kayat. I can't see that very well. I got my glasses on, and I'm blind as a bat. Living one, and wherein there is life, asher bo nephesh, which has the relative pronoun asher, whom, which, bo, in him, soul, kaya, which in him a living soul. So, why did the King James translators, King James, plural translators, overlook this? Why? They had to know that this was the word was souls. They had to also know that kai means living or alive. Pretty awesome stuff when you can go back to the manuscripts and see these little intricate details within the text. And I would highly recommend that anybody study biblical Hebrew. There's good courses out there. The first course I ever took online was called Animated Hebrew, which is an awesome course. It's one dialect. There's two separate dialects of Hebrew, which that's a video that I will make someday. It's going to upset a lot of people. So it's about the sacred name and how it should be pronounced. Well, you need to understand that there's two separate dialects of Hebrew. In one dialect, you have the Vav with the V sound and the Tav with the T sound. In the other dialect, which is probably the older dialect, you have the Vav or the Wow with the W sound, and you have the Tav with the TH sound. And if you don't agree with me, I'd say get a second opinion on that, because you'll find I'm spot on with that.